The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and future, and, of course, co-host of the new podcast, Digital to Dice, which you can find at digitaltodice.com. Well, good afternoon. Happy Thursday. I'm Ron Juckett. Welcome to what might be the last important game of the American League East season. The Baltimore Orioles have a 3.5 game lead as we get started on this lunchtime over the Detroit Tigers. The Milwaukee Brewers were eliminated yesterday. This is it. These are the two teams left in the fight, and Baltimore with a win can clinch a tie for the American League East with 3 days left. Baltimore has 4 games left after this. A 4-game set against Milwaukee. In real life, they were 4 down with 4 to go. They won the first 3. They could not force the tie. The Tigers have a 5-game series against Cleveland, doubleheader Friday, doubleheader Saturday. How much of that matters depends on what they got going on this afternoon, and they've got their ace out there. It's Jack Morris, who needs to throw like playoff Jack Morris, because if the Tigers lose, they're pretty much done. Mike Flanagan gets the call for Baltimore as Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball Replay 1982. This afternoon from Tiger Stadium in Detroit, it's the Detroit Tigers and Baltimore Orioles from Thursday, September 30th. Today's game is brought to you by Patreon. You can throw me a tip at patreon.com/retrosportsnetwork, or $10 gets you the game of your choice at patreon.com/retrosportsnetwork. Take a look today, and thank you so much for your likes, subscriptions, and everything you do for Retro Sports Network. So, yep, that's pretty much the situation. It is do or die for Detroit. I mean, Baltimore could lose all 4 to Milwaukee, and the Tigers could take 5 from Cleveland if the Tigers lose this. But that just is not really that much of a realistic option. So it's win and pretty much meaningful September baseball for Baltimore. I know it's not certain yet, but the magic number will be 1 if Baltimore wins. And as we take you to the field, we can tell you that Jack Morris, making his last start of the year, he will not start in that 5-game set against the Indians, is looking for win 18. He is 17-12 with a 4.28 ERA. If you're wondering how he's fared against the Orioles, he's had 3 starts, and the numbers are not great. 19 2/3 innings, 18 hits, 13 runs all earned. He's walked 11 and struck out 13. And the worst news of all, 1-2 with a 5.95 ERA. His last time out was, I don't know why it takes so long to pull, last week against Cleveland. He threw a 6-hitter. He won his 17th, 9 innings, 6 hits, a run it was earned. He walked 1 and struck out 4. So 275 2/3 innings. He's allowed 40 home runs. Yep, 40 on the year. He allowed 37 in real life. 262 hits, 145 runs, 131 earned. He's walked 105 and struck out 142. The Orioles on September 20th racked him for 7 runs over 7 2/3. And on this day where the Orioles might virtually wrap things up, here's the lineup they'll send out. Al Bumbry leads off in center field. Rich Dower is at third. He'll bat second. Ken Singleton is the DH. He'll bat third. Eddie Murray, one of the leaders in the clubhouse for the American League MVP, cleans up. John Lowenstein is in left. He'll bat 5th. Cal Ripken turned ankle yesterday, or bad hammy yesterday. He's fine today. Will bat 6th. Jim Dwyer is in right. He'll bat 7th. Joe Nolan again behind the plate. He'll go 8th. And Len Cicada will bat 9th and play 2nd because Dower is at 3rd for Gulliver. The Detroit defense. Larry Herndon, an 8 and a 5 in left. Glenn Wilson, a 6 and 8 in center. Chet Lemon, a 5 and a 9 in right. Howard Johnson, a 3 and 3rd. Alan Trammell, a 9 at short. Tom Brookins, a 3 at 2nd. Enos Cabell, a 2 at 1st. The battery, Morris, an 8 on the mound. Parrish, a 5 and an 8 behind the plate. And with all that, Al Bumbry steps in at 258, 6 homers and 46 RBI. Again, Baltimore wins. The magic number is 1. Detroit wins. We got pandemonium kind of over the weekend. Morris delivers, and Bumbry strikes out. He looked at a 1-2 count and watched strike 3. So the crowd here in Detroit just kind of jumping on every pitch. Rich Dower, 255, 5 homers, and 51 RBI. Morris deals, and there's a ground ball to Johnson over to first. 2 out. How you doing, Tribe fan? Glad to have you along on this Thursday afternoon. The weather in Detroit is warm and rainy. 82 degrees. The wind is blowing in from right at 6. And there is a light rain. It's a warm September night, the last day of September, here in Tiger Town. Kenny Singleton at 238, 12 homers and 66 RBI. Morris deals, ground ball to Trammell, over to Cabell, and the Orioles go down in order, 1, 2, 3. After half an inning, Baltimore nothing. Here come the Tigers. Mike Flanagan, with the win today, is a 20-game winner in 1982, or at least the replay. He is 19 and 12 with a 4.01 ERA. With 4 games left, he is making his last start of the year. Against the Tigers, he started twice. He is 0-2 with a 2.79 batting average against and a 6.75 ERA. In 14 2/3 innings, he's allowed 17 hits, 15 runs, 11 earned. He has walked 4 and struck out 6. His last start came against the Brewers, a complete game win on September 24th. 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 2. So in 256 innings, he's allowed 20 home runs, 258 hits, 127 runs, 114 of those earned. He's walked 94 and struck out 117. The Tigers ripped him on the 4th of July for 9 runs and 10 hits over 7 innings. Lineup he'll face. Chet Lemon leads off in right field. Glenn Wilson will bat 2nd. Larry Herndon will hit 3rd in left. Lance Parrish behind the plate cleans up. John Walkenfuss, your DH. Enos Cabell will bat 6th. Tom Brookins will bat 7th. Howard Johnson will go 8th, and Alan Trammell will bat 9th. All right-handers against the lefty Flanagan. Johnson's a switch hitter, but will bat right-handed, of course. And Morris threw 9 pitches in the first. Defense pretty much, well, no, it's a little different from yesterday. Lowenstein, a 5 and a 2 in left. Bumbry, an 8 and a 6 in center. Dwyer, a 4 and a 3 in right. Rich Dower, a 3 at third in the infield. Cal Ripken, a 5 at short. Cicada, a 3 at second. Eddie Murray, a 10 at first. Your battery, Flanagan, an 8 on the mound, and Nolan, not great, a 2 and a 5. Chet Lemon at 296, 14 homers and 70 RBI. Flanagan deals, ground ball to Ripken in the hole, long throw to first, and 1 out. Todd B., how are you? DC, glad to have you along. Mr. Mike Sports Time Machine. So glad to have all of you along. Bottom of the first, no score. Glenn Wilson, 234, 10 homers, 43 RBI. And there's a little number down the Ripken. Bang banger over to first, 2 out. So, if you were with us yesterday, you know that Baltimore won. The margin is 3.5. And the Orioles' magic number is 3. Larry Herndon at 293, 24 homers, 92 RBI. Everyone's awake now. And Todd B says the Orioles are in dire need to wrap this up. Pitch to Herndon. Struck him out. He got him to swing and miss on a full count to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 1. Baltimore nothing, Detroit nothing. So be Andy Murray at 326, 27 homers, 113 RBI. Lowenstein and Ripken to follow. Here's the pitch. Line drive to Cabell, who leaps and makes a great play. He's not good defensively. Rick Leach is better, but with Flanagan on the hill, you're going to stick with a right-handed bat. John Lowenstein at 223, 18 homers and 64 RBI. AFL game will be depending on what happens with this week. This is the end of the baseball regular season, and so it really depends on what happens today. I'm hoping to do one over the weekend, but we will see. Playoffs, by the way, begin Monday, 7 p.m. It'll be the Expos hosting the Dodgers in Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. Mr. Mike giving George Hendrick crap now. Pitch to Lowenstein, ball 4. So that's a walk, and that's the first base runner of the game. So the AFL project certainly is not dead, but we will try to squeeze him in. But right now, the focus of the next 3 weeks or 2 weeks is the playoffs, the League Championship Series, and the World Series. And there's no Howard Cosell, but there might be Emily the Cat. Cal Ripken at 271, 30 homers, and 110 RBI. Pitch from Morris is a fly ball to left. Herndon has it tracked down for the out. 2 out for Jim Dwyer at 372, 4 homers and 23 RBI. Yeah, it was a nice chat. Tribe and Tribe Fan and ID. Todd. George Hendrick had a fan appreciation club in Cleveland. Only his family showed up. I'm going to get a letter at some point, okay? Here's Dwyer. 2 out. Here's the pitch from Morris. Line drive to Brookins, who has to go on the grass and make the catch. How about that? No runs, no hits, no errors. After 1.5, Baltimore nothing, Detroit nothing. I tell you what, DC, if we don't go all the way to Sunday with the baseball, we'll do an AFL game then. Because I was off for vacation and some other things came up. But it really depends on when the Orioles or the Tigers decide who's going to win the American League East. Lance Parrish at 296, 28 homers, 92 RBI. Walkenfuss and Cabell to follow. Parrish, fly ball left field. Lowenstein through the raindrops makes the catch, 1 out. Walkenfuss at 290, 7 homers, 28 RBI. Pitch from Flanagan. Little looper into center field. Actually, that wasn't a little looper. Line drive into center field. Bum breeze there, 2 away for Cabell. Enos at 234, 2 homers and 35 RBI. Flanagan deals. Line drive, left field, base hit. Lowenstein should have had that, and the Tigers get their first hit of the ballgame. So both teams have had a runner on, but not much else. Tom Brookins at 223, 8 homers and 31 RBI. I have a sense, Mr. Todd, that you are either a Rodney Dangerfield or a Henny Youngman fan growing up. Cabell's going to go. Nolan. Well, it was a bad jump by Cabell, and he didn't go. So an 0-1 count to Tom Brookins. Here's the pitch, and there's a line drive right field. That's going to drop. Cabell goes to third, and Brookins is on with a single. So the Tigers are runners in the corner, and 2 out. Howard Johnson at 310, 2 homers and 10 RBI. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. We will be doing more AFL, of course, after the baseball season's over. But my plan is, depending on when we get a clinch, is to get a game in before we switch to playoff baseball mode. It was either this or the Dodgers and Philly. That's true. I forgot they're on live. Yeah, ID. Go watch the Phillies. Hojo at the plate. Here's the pitch. And that's a base hit left field. Cabell will score. Brookins goes to third. And the Tigers are the ones that draw first blood in this game. 1-0. Alan Trammell at 261. 8 homers and 60 RBI. Flanagan deals. Ball 4. And so they're loaded for Lemon. Now, Flanagan's pitch count for 9 batters is low. It's only 24. But he's only got an inning and 2/3, 3 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Lemon is 0 for 1. He does have a grand slam on the year. And wouldn't they just love that right now? Flanagan from the stretch. Base hit left side. Brookins will score. Hojo will score. It's 3-0 Detroit. And Tiger Stadium is rocking. Here's Glenn Wilson. He's 0 for 1. So in a must-win game, they're up. 3 runs coming with 2 out. Oh, I appreciate that. Money. Pitch to Wilson. And there's a chopper to Ripken. He flicks it over to Murray, and that will retire the side. Well, you've given Jack Morris 3 runs on 4 hits and no errors. After 2, it is 3-0 Detroit. There were a lot of complaints last year, Tribe fan, about the stuff on Facebook. I think more people use YouTube to watch. You don't go to Facebook to watch videos. Joe Nolan, 251, 6 homers, 28 RBI. DC, not a big Philly fan, or not a big Gabe Kapler fan. Nolan, ground ball up the middle. Brookins with a long throw, but he got him. Remember, the Tigers do have Lou Whitaker on the bench. We're using as-played replays, and the Tigers were not in the hunt. So that's why it may not look like a full lineup. But this team is still pretty good. Here's Sakata at 274, 5 homers, and 46 RBI. Pitch to Lenny. Struck him out. Morris got him a chase on a 1-2 curveball for strike 3. And that's 2 for Jack. Here's Bunbury, who was 0 for 1. He struck out to start the ball game. So Morris, through 2 and 2/3 innings, that'd be pretty good to face 9 batters. 32 pitches, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Morris steals, and Bunbury fouls that one up by me against the chicken wire. Count is full. Morris steals. Popped up. A rainmaker to second. Brookins is there, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2.5 in the books. Tigers 3, Orioles nothing. And so I think it was better. And there's also the archive thing. You don't, 2/3 of my viewers, gang, watch on demand. Well, the magic number for Baltimore is 3. And so And Detroit has 5 games in 3 days. They have a double-header against Cleveland Friday and Saturday. So it's not done and dusted, but it's close. Herndon is 0 for 1. He struck out. Flanagan delivers. Fly ball right field. Dwyer makes the catch. 1 away. They can make their lives easier with a win tonight, because that would put the Tigers 4.5 back with 5 to go. Lance Parrish at 0 for 1. Of course, the Orioles would be 4.5 up with 4 to play. Parrish loops that one into shallow left for a Texas leaguer. Lowenstein throws it back in, and that's the 5th hit for the Tigers. John Walkenfuss, the DH, is 0 for 1. DC's been a Philly fan since the early 60s. Kapler and GM simply stink, as well as the scouting department. But yes, because Mike is right to go back to the Orioles and the Brewers. Since that was for the real-life American League East Championship, everybody played. So the Orioles are fielding their best, and Milwaukee will field their best. Pitch from to Walkenfuss. Fly ball, left center field. Bumbree's there for the out. So 2 out for Enos Cabell, who singled and scored in the second. Flanagan delivers, and there's a looper up the middle for a base hit. Parrish trots to third, and Cabell is 2 for 2. Brings up Tom Brookins, who has singled and scored a run. Would it be a Tiger Leaguer? Wow! Now, if Demos comes on and talks about his irrational hatred for George Hendrick, I wonder if you two have switched. So Clinton remembers going to Connie Mack Stadium? Or was that the beginning days of the vet? Pitch to Brookins. Ground ball to Ripken. Flips it to Sakata for the fielder's choice, and that will retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. After 3 on this last Thursday of the regular season, Detroit 3, Baltimore nothing. So Rich Dower, look at the right side, Ron. Ken Singleton and Eddie Murray to face Morris here in the 4th. Dower's 0 for 1. Morris delivers. Ground ball to Cabell, and what Cabell gives you at the plate, he loses in the field as that bounced off his chest, and he did not do his impression of Chris Osgood there. That's an error. And so the Tigers commit their first error. They had 3 last night, and that'll bring up Kenny Singleton. Pitch from Morris. Ground ball, base hit right side. So the Orioles have something cooking here in the 4th. They have 2 on, nobody out for Eddie Murray, who is 0 for 1. George Hendrick arrived an hour earlier on Turn Back the Clock Day in Cleveland. Was mad. Oh my goodness. So tying run is Murray. Morris delivers. Struck him out. Got him. They swung on and missed a 2-2 fastball. How you doing, Richard O'Connor? So 1 out for John Let It Be Lowenstein. And that's a big out. So Dave Gardner wants to know who needs to win. Well, both teams want to win. The Tigers pretty much, their season's done with a loss. They lead 3-0, top the 4th. Orioles' magic number is 3. Pitch to Lowenstein to walk. Struck him out. Morris pitching like a Hall of Famer. He got him to swing and miss at an 88-mile-an-hour fastball. 2 out for Cal Ripken. And so those runners haven't moved an inch. So let's see what Cal can do. Morris bearing down. He's struck out the last 2. Murray and Lowenstein. Here's the pitch. Center field. Wilson comes in to make the catch. So the Orioles strand 2. No runs. 1 hit and 1 error. 3.5 in the books. Detroit 3, Baltimore nothing. DC loved Connie Mack as a kid, watching on TV, fortunate to get a money bet on bat day as a kid. Saw the Pirates and Phillies double dip. Glad that you're enjoying it, Mr. O'Connor. Warm day, I assume, for you. It's a nice day here, not too humid. And of course, at the ballpark, it's raining. Light rain blowing in from right at 13 and 79 degrees. Howard, Johnson, Allen, Trammell, and Chet Lemon here in the bottom of the fourth. Hojo has singled, drove in a run, and scored. Flanagan delivers. There's a liner to left. Lowenstein has it, one away. For Trammell, who walked. Here's the pitch. And there's a little base hit that's going to blub into left field. So Trammell's on with a single. 7th hit allowed by Flanagan. Through 18 batters, 54 pitches, 3 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs all earned. He's walked 1 and struck out 1. Chet Lemon has 2 RBI on a single. Trammell holds. Here's the pitch. Fly ball left field. Lowenstein has it for the out, and Trammell retreats back to first. So 2 out for Glenn Wilson, who's 0 for 2. And Trammell's going to try and steal. The throw down to Cicada, not in time. So Trammell has 19 steals on the year. Cicada had to dig that one out of the dirt, and Trammell kept his foot on the bag. Today they'd review it 9 times. Wilson 0 for 2. Runner in scoring position. 3-0 Tigers, bottom of the fourth. Flanagan delivers. Base hit left side. Trammell's going to round third and score. And so it's 4-0 Detroit. And so this, by the way, is the last home game of the year for the Tigers. And so if this is how it ends for them, what a way to do it. No, it wasn't Oz. Who knows who it was? Yeah, they were terrible. Why does ID have a wrench? Because I'm trustworthy and awesome. Yeah, the weekend's supposed to be nasty up here. You know, I could see what I could do, Todd. If we can get him on, I don't know if he's a gamer. I might do, for a Ron Juckett show. Would you be polite and nice? Herndon's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. That gets away from Nolan. And Wilson's going to second. No throw on the wild pitch. And so the count is a ball and a strike to Larry Herndon, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Flanagan deals, ball 4. And so the Tigers are looking for the killer blow right now. Lance Parrish, 1 for 2. He's got himself a single. Here's the pitch. And there's a base hit right side, all the way to the wall. Wilson scores. Herndon goes into third. Parrish will hold with a single, and it's 5-0 Detroit. And the possibility of an AFL game this weekend gets slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. Here's Walkenfuss. He's 0 for 2. Remember, the computer manages Baltimore. I manage the Tigers. Flanagan deals. And there's a little roller down to Murray. Flips it to Flanagan, and that will retire the side. 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors after 4. Detroit 5, Baltimore nothing. So Dwyer, Nolan, and Cicada to face Morris here in the 5th. Pitch to Dwyer. Fly ball right field. Lemon squeezes the glove, 1 away. And I don't know what the hell is going on down by the third base side, but some idiot in a Bruins jersey is chanting, "Let's go Mets." Wrong channel, buddy. Joe Nolan is 0 for 1. Now, I wonder if he went to Al Red Sox fans channel last night when Al was doing the Mets and the Padres and said, "Let's go Padres." Nolan's 0 for 1. Fly ball center field. Wilson goes back, makes the catch, 2 away. Cicada 0 for 1 with the strikeout. So Morris right now is throwing a gem. He's got a one-hitter going, 2 out, top the 5th. Here's the pitch. Cicada, left field. Herndon to the wall, makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Halfway home, we're headed for the weekend. Detroit 5, Baltimore nothing. And so here's your in-game box score. Ken Singleton has the lone hit for the Orioles. Lance Parrish and Enos Cabell have 2 hits aside for the Tigers, and Chet Lemon is driven in 2. So Jack Morris kind of has taken the shaft the last few times he's pitched on this channel, whether it was the 82 or 84 form. Has allowed 1 hit through 5 and struck out 4. Mike Flanagan, 4 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs all earned. And he'll face Cabell, Brookins, and Johnson here in the bottom of the 5th. Enos is 2 for 2. He has singled twice and scored once. Fly ball left field. Lowenstein goes back in the corner into foul territory. 1 out for Brookins. Tigers got 3 in the second, all with 2 out. And Flanagan really just hasn't been right since. Brookins 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. Flanagan's pitch popped up right side. Actually, that kind of got more than I thought. Dwyer's there. 2 out. Does the Bruins guy have his chest painted? Yes. Yes, he does. Dayglow green. Here's Johnson. Hojo 1 for 2. He has singled, scored, and driven in his 11th run of the year, which earned him, by the way, an all-you-can-eat fish fry at your local neighborhood Howard Johnson's. There is 25 in the metropolitan Detroit area. Pitch to Johnson, struck him out. 1-2 on the inside corner, and that will retire the side. You lose your fish fry, kiddo. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 5, Tigers 5, Orioles nothing. So Bunbury, as Jack Morris, has pitched to 18 batters. Let's do that first. 72 pitches, 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Bunbury's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. DC loves Gabe Kapler as much as Todd B loves George Hendrick, and I love cauliflower. Pitch to Bunbury, ground ball to first. Cabell, this time he'll field it, 1 away, takes it to the bag himself. Rich Dower, 0 for 2. So I think if this lead holds, we will do the Baltimore-Milwaukee doubleheader starting at 11:30 tomorrow morning. So 11:30 for Baltimore and Milwaukee. We'll let the computer play Detroit and Cleveland, because they, remember, have back-to-back doubleheaders. And then we will make an educated guess for what we're going to do Saturday. But at the moment, it looks like we're going to do the Baltimore-Milwaukee doubleheader. And if the Orioles sweep, the Orioles could conceivably, even with a loss today, clinch tomorrow. Pitch to Dower. Here's a ground ball right to Brookins, who was playing in the right spot, over to Cabell for the out. So 2 out for Ken Singleton. And when I mean Singleton, he's got the single hit. It was a Singleton. Morris delivers. Fly ball right field. Back goes Lemon to the track. He makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 5.5, Detroit 5, Baltimore nothing. Yeah, it's not done yet, for sure. Oh, Dave, you don't mean that. We got the Dayglow black stuff for you for that chest. It even smells like Vicks Vapo Rub, so when you have a cold, you can do it and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Trammell, Lemon, and Wilson to face Flanagan here in the 6th. Trammell 1 for 1. He singled, stolen a base, walked, and scored. And he sends that one deep in the hole by the bag at second. Sakata throws to first in time for the out, 1 away. So Flanagan, through 18 batters, has not made Mr. Weaver a happy camper. 5 in the third innings, 9 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 5 earned runs. Lemon, 1 for 3, a big 2 RBI single, was the killer blow so far. Flanagan deals, popped up, left side, Dower, 2 out. Glenn Wilson is 1 for 3. He has driven in run number 44, has scored run number 44, and singled. Not a multiple of 44. And there's a base hit left side in the hole, so that's a 10th Tiger hit. Larry Herndon's 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. 82 was Harvey's wall bangers, and Clinton, you weren't with us yesterday. What happened was Baltimore went into Milwaukee last weekend and swept them to put the Brewers 6 back. Baltimore's win yesterday eliminated Milwaukee. They did beat Boston 8-4, but it didn't matter. And so this is it. These are the 2 teams left. And that's it. Everything else is in the bag. Los Angeles and Montreal start Monday for Montreal. California awaits the winner of the American League East starting Tuesday. Pitch to Herndon is a fly ball right field. Dwyer is there for the out. And that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 6, it's Baltimore trailing 5-0. That's Kaplan. And Marcia Strasburg was a hottie. Eddie Murray is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Here's the pitch. Fly ball center field. Wilson has it, 1 away. So Morris, these are the games that got him in the Hall of Fame. His whip today is .316. Lowenstein is a walk, so as one of the 2 base runners, he's 0 for 1. Everyone's still rooting for the Mets. I think that a White Sox dude and Bruins dude drank a little too much Strohs on the way to the stadium. Pitch to Lowenstein, ball 4. So Lowenstein has drawn 2 walks. And Parrish says a few words to the home plate umpire. It was a 3-1 pitch. It was way outside. I don't know if he thought Lowenstein swung. Here's Ripken. Cal 0 for 2. Pitch to Cal. Ground ball to Trammell. Brookins for 1 over to Cabell. And the Tigers are cooking with gas. No runs, no hits, no errors. A double play after 6.5. It is Detroit 5, Baltimore nothing. And as you get the other ad for my Patreon account, let's kind of tell you what we're thinking we're doing tomorrow. 11:30 a.m. doubleheader. Baltimore hosting Milwaukee. And then we'll run the Tigers games. We'll sim them elsewhere. In fact, I might sim it after here, so we know. And then if Saturday is still an issue, then we'll see. But tomorrow the plan for the moment, 11:30, Baltimore hosting Milwaukee, and we will have both games of that natural doubleheader. So stay tuned after this game. We'll do the Tiger doubleheader next. We'll just send them. We're not going to play them. So you see the ad on the screen. If you'd like to do so, I'd greatly appreciate it. But I'd like to thank all of my new subscribers, by the way. We're over 350 strong, so thanks a bunch. All right, back to the game. I do like that. That's from the YouTube production library, so I can't get dinged. Lance Parrish is 2 for 3, by the way. Has singled twice, driven in a run. Let's see. Payoff pitch. Speaking of the real Mets, Alonso is a stud. He really, really is. Is it more fun to manage the Orioles or manage against them? You know, as far as a storyline is concerned, it's more fun to, because there are some big Oriole fans here. Actually, Randy's not here today. I'm surprised. And you can make the stories with Earl, and so, but Sparky, I mean, the Tigers are 2 years early. I like it when the computer does things with the Orioles that if I did, I'd get yelled at for. I mean, there was that steal yesterday in a bunt. Like, even I wouldn't do that. So, I enjoy managing against them a little bit more. Pitch to Parrish. Struck him out. So that's 3 for Flanagan. Nolan dropped strike 3 and tagged him for the out. John Walkenfuss is 0 for 3. Clinton's son is a huge Oriole fan. I'm sorry, Clinton. Pitch to Walkenfuss, ball 4. And so I don't know how long Earl or Cyber Earl's going to let Flanagan go. Cabell is 2 for 3. His single twice, scored a run. Alonso is something special. People were telling me about him in spring training and go, yeah, okay. But that kid is the real. So was Vladdy Jr. with the Blue Jays. Just tremendous amount of power. Nolan goes out to talk with Flanagan. And Cabell sends this one into center field. Bumbry moves over, has it for the out. Killebrew is a bit before my time. Tom Brookins is 1 for 3. He is singled and scored a run. Killebrew was a DH for the Royals when I was a toddler. So, pitch to Tom is a base hit left side. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Bumbry goes to get it. Walkenfuss rounds third and scores. Brookins going for 3. It's 6-0 Detroit. And so when the Tigers needed, when their backs literally were up against the wall, they have given their fans a stand and deliver performance so far. Here's Howard Johnson. He's 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. What, Killebrew story? It's a hell of a story. If Griffin hadn't moved the team to Minnesota, imagine what Washington would have had in the 60s. Because that was a really good team. It wasn't just Killebrew. They had the good pitching. I mean, Jim Cott should be in the Hall of Fame as far as I'm concerned. Earl Batty, Bobby Broom Broom Allison. That team could absolutely rake. And in that stadium in D.C., what's now RFK, they would have contended for several years. Pitch to Johnson. Struck him out. Flanagan needed that one badly. The 0-2 swung on and missed. 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors. Morris trotting out to start the 8th. 6-0 Tigers. Oh, your sons. Oh, absolutely. Klazuski would have been fun to see. Imagine ripping the shirts today. I was just kidding about the I'm sorry thing for the Orioles because they're so bad. I wasn't picking on you about your kid. Jim Dwyer is 0 for 2. Morris steals. Struck him out. He got him to chase an 0-2 pitch. He wanted fast, got an off speed, and that's 5 for Morris. And Joe Nolan's up 0 for 2. Tony Oliva. That's right. Rod Carew eventually came in 67. Pitch to Nolan is a fly ball to right. Back goes a Lemon in the corner. Makes it for the out. So Lenny Sakata is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Morris on 100 pitches. Ground ball to Trammell. Over to Cavell. And through 8 innings, Jack Morris is throwing a 1-hitter. What a ball game for Morris. Unbelievable. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and there is no one sitting down in Detroit. It's Trammell, Lemon, and Wilson to face Flanagan. Yeah, oh, absolutely demos about the Angels after Skaggs' death. Playing just with pure heart. Yeah, I agree about Pinson. Baines, though, if you look at his baseball reference page, it's not as bad as you think it is. Are there others more deserving? Yes, but I was surprised when I looked at Baines and went, "Oh, you can make the case." Pitch to Trammell, struck him out. Full count, swing and a miss, and Flanagan now has 5. You know, ID asked this. I don't know if ID is still here. The other day, asked Tribe Fan 879 about. By the way, his 40th birthday is coming up. About Albert Bell, and I went and pulled up the page, and you know what? It's not a ridiculous question. His peak is unbelievable. A 5-year peak that kind of rivals as a hitter what Sandy Koufax did as a pitcher. And no one will argue about whether Sandy should be in the Hall of Fame or not. Especially you look at 95, which was a 144-game season. Lemon, by the way, 1 for 4 with 2 RBI. Flanagan delivers. Ground ball to Dower, over to Murray, and Lemon is out. Bang, bang play, and that'll do it for Flanagan. So Don Welchel will come in. I wonder if that's Lisa's dad. Let's see how many of you get that reference. Welchel has not pitched. He's 1-0 with an 8.31 ERA. They must have brought him up for this weekend. 4 1/3 innings, 6 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 3. He'll face Glenn Wilson. So Flanagan's day is done. 1 out away from getting the complete game. Yes. Yep. Oliver, I could make an argument for. Parker, he really tailed off, in my view. But yeah, Albert Bell, I think, deserves consideration for a short career. I had the biggest crush on Tootie as a kid. But yeah, facts of life. Congratulations on that one. Wasn't sure. Pitch to Wilson is 2 for 4. Base hit left side. That's going to drop in between, in the Bermuda Triangle out there between Ripken, Lowenstein, and Bunbury. And there's Larry Herndon is 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Runner on first. Herndon, fly ball left field. Lowenstein is there. That will retire the side, and Tiger Stadium roars as one as we go to the top of the 9th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and Jack Morris trots out to finish his 1-hitter. Over 27 batters, he's allowed thrown 105 pitches. 8 innings, 1 hit. He has walked 2 and struck out 5. Bunbury, Dower, and Singleton. 6-0 Tigers. Manny being Manny, I'm not sure Manny ever gets in. You know, Schilling is kind of like, to me, kind of like a donut. He had a great early peak. He had some great years with Arizona and Boston. And then there were years where he did squat. I'm always on the fence. I'm a member of the Internet Baseball Writers. And sometimes I voted for him and sometimes not. You just go look in the, like, 95 to 99. And they're not good years when he should have been having good years. Bunbury's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. And Earl's going to pinch hit Gary Renicky. Renicky at 289, 13 homers and 67 RBI. Big game pitcher, though. Yep. And, the game, his World Series in 2001, the games against the Yankees in the 04 playoffs, I'm not doubting that. But, man, he's got some pretty below-average seasons in the middle of all that. Pitch to Renicky. Fly ball left field. Herndon is there, and now there's 2 outs away. So Rich Dower is 0 for 3. Schilling too busy playing EverQuest between 95 and 99. Yeah, they were bad teams. I'm not saying that they were, 5th starter on a World Series team, but for me, no. Not right now. Glenn Gulliver will pinch hit. Orioles need 6 to tie. They have 2 outs to do it. Gulliver at 276, 1 homer, 9 RBI. Fly ball left field. The 11-game hitting streak is snapped as Herndon snags that one down. Yeah, they traded Schilling, I believe, for Mike Boddicker. Or was that for Schiraldi? Here's a trade the Red Sox won. So Kenny Singleton, the last hope. He's 1 for 3 with a single. Tiger Stadium rises as one. Morris, a one-hitter. He kicks and deals. Ground ball to Brookins. Over to Cabell. And the Tigers stay alive. They shut out the Baltimore Orioles 6-0. Lance Parrish and Jack Morris exchange a hearty hug as they go back to the dugout. And so here's your MVP of the game. Jack Morris finishes the 1982 regular season at 18-12. In the biggest game of his career, he goes 9 innings, 1 hit. He walked 2 and struck out 5. And look at that pitch count. It's in the parentheses. He could have thrown 149 pitches today. Mike Flanagan, 7 2/3 innings, 11 hits, 6 runs all earned, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, 122 pitches, and he had plus stuff. That's not good. And Welch will face 2 batters. Yeah, Tommy John should be in the Hall of Fame. Brady Anderson, him and Brady Anderson to Baltimore for Mike Boddicker in '88. All right, so we're going to run the other games, and I'm running the rest of today. Nothing else matters. The Mets lost to Chicago. The Mets are 55-104. St. Louis beat Pittsburgh 3-2. Montreal is a 100-game winner. They beat Philadelphia 2-0. And that pretty much is it. All right. So I'm going to show you this on camera, okay? So right now, you see, I've got them played. The computer's going to play these games right now. So Baltimore 92-66, Detroit 89-68, and Milwaukee just could gain no ground. So we're going to play these two instantly right now, and we'll know what Baltimore has to do tomorrow. Cleveland wins them both. The magic number is 1. And so how did the Baltimore Orioles clinch a game 163? Let's show you. This was game 1. Milt Wilcox takes the loss. Len Barker gets the win. Toby Harrah, a 3-run homer in the sixth made it 3-0. That's all they needed. Howard Johnson, a solo shot, and then Carmen Castillo with an RBI grounder, 4-1. That was the first game. So Cleveland knocked Baltimore's magic number down to 2, 4-1. In the nightcap, talk about a choke. 12-2. Tom Underwood takes the loss. Anderson gets the win. Cleveland went up 3-0 in the second. Mike Fischlin and Vaughn Hayes with singles to make it 3-zip. Howard Johnson grounded into an error to score one Detroit run. Then Chet Lemon scored, or singled to score Johnson to make it 3-2. And then Andy Thornton singled home Fischlin in the fourth. Bill Nahordny, baseball demos hero from 1977, a 3-run shot. That pretty much did it. Carmen Castillo would add one more. Cleveland 12-2. All right, so Baltimore, with their next win, they just have to win one more game to win the American League East. And I'm gonna do the playoffs for the team. If somehow Baltimore chokes this away, they had a 7-6 regular season against Detroit. And so if we do get to game 163, it'll be in Baltimore. So Baltimore has 4 cracks at winning the American League East against Milwaukee, and then potentially, if all hell breaks loose, a 1-game playoff against the Tigers. So there you have it. Still 11:30 tomorrow, just in case we gotta play 2. So mark that down. The Orioles' magic number is 1. Cleveland sweeps Detroit in their first doubleheader. The Orioles looking like it's 1979 again. Until tomorrow, I'm Ron Juckett. Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell when we go live. We'll talk to you the next time. Good day.